Hi everyone! Happy Tuesday. My name is Jackie. I'm the founder of Kreativ and I'm an artist here in Plymouth, Massachusetts. Today I'm going to take you step by step through a really cute drawing. I actually woke up this morning thinking about a favorite book of mine when I was a little kid, If You Give a Mouse a Cookie, and I came up with this drawing. So of course, make it your own. I'd love to see what you're going to add. Of course, change colors, whatever you'd like. Today I'm going to be using a 16 pack of Crayola crayons, but you can use crayons, markers, whatever, and colored pencils, whatever you'd like. And I also have a few sheets of paper. So we talked about our workspace last time, so I do have my paper to cover up my table to protect it and also to try things out on. I have my crayons and I have them all grouped by color, and I did sharpen some of them today because they were getting really dull and it was giving me a hard, it was hard to outline and get fine details. So make sure your crayons are all set up. I have mine. Let's see, where are they? There they are. And I have my white paper. We also have been talking about how to use our crayon to make different marks. We talked about pushing down hard to get a more solid, deep color, and then actually pushing a little less pressure, and you get a lighter tone. And what's great about that, let's do that here on our paper, is, let me just get this set, sorry. And if I push down, I know you know we're all pros now, so if I push down hard, I get a really dark color. If I go light, it's nice and light, and I can add a second color on top, which we've been doing, which has been really fun. So I can go back over that light part, or I even can add a really hard on top of my darker pressure or my darker one. Anywho, all right, so let's get started. I'm really excited about this one. And make it your own. Enjoy, maybe make different cookies. I'm going to show you how to do some sugar cookies or maybe some Oreos. I'm going to stick with my chocolate chip. I think I'm going to make some after we finish coloring as well. But just have fun, and let me just set my camera up and we'll get started. All right, so today I have my paper up and down, vertical. I'm going to leave this one over here so I can try things out on it. And I'm going to also, before I start with my crayon, I'm going to just use my hand to kind of find my placement of my my mouse and of my plate. So first I want to get my plate down. So that's going to be like an oval shape or a circular shape. And I want it to be down on the bottom of my page. All right, my mouse is an oval going up and down, so I just kind of want to feel that out, and that's going to be kind of in the middle of my page. And then I want to make sure I have like my background and just my tabletop or my counter. So get started. I'm going to go nice and light, and I'm going to be using my light blue. You can of course use whatever color you'd like, and I'm going to grab my light blue. And again, I'm just going to use my finger to kind of picture how big I want it and where I want my placement of my plate. I'm going to have a cookie that's going to be on my countertop, so I'm going to make sure I have enough room for that as well. All right, so I'm going to take my light blue crayon and I'm going to make like an oval. All right. And I'm going to make a nice light oval inside of that oval, and that's going to be the inside of my plate. And this can be very light, so I can change it if I want. One other thing you can think about is that we're closer to this side of the plate, so the thickness of the edge of my plate is going to be bigger down here than it is up here. So I'm actually going to go a little bit closer to this line up here, and I'm just going to do an oval, make it a little bit bigger over here. And I'll go back and add a little bit darker, a little bit of an outline to that later. All right, cool. So now it's time to think about what kind of cookies we'd like. All right, and I'm going to show you how I went and did my chocolate chip on our paper here. But let's just take a moment and maybe do a sugar cookie with some rainbow sprinkles. So think about your cookie. I'm going to start with a brown. I'm going to be very light with it. And I'm just going to shade it in very lightly. This is going to be my sugar cookie. And then I'm going to pick up my yellow. Some of my crayons have broke. That's okay. And I'm going to go in with my yellow. I'll show you the chocolate chip cookie in just a moment. So that's the base of my my sugar cookie. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to add my sprinkles. But or you could do colored M&Ms, whatever kind of cookie you'd like. So that's going to be like a sugar cookie with some sprinkles. You could do an Oreo, which would be kind of cool. Let's see if we can do one. Maybe I'll do an oval. For the top cookie. And I'm going to I'll use my brown, and I'm very, very lightly. Kind of give it two little curves, and then I'll do my bottom part of my cookie. So that's an Oreo, and that's a sugar cookie. All right, anything else, go for it. But I'm going to start with my chocolate chip cookies, and I'm going to make kind of like a pile. So I'm going to go very light so I can then go back in and pick out which one I want on top of which one by adding a little bit darker of a line, an outline to them. So I'm going to start with my cookie pile. These are just going to be kind of circles or ovals. Think about how big they are compared to your plate. I'm going to let them kind of start piling up. I'm going to keep them pretty light. I forgot my glasses, so I think I threw myself off in the beginning. And I'm going to let's do one leaning. And maybe there's going to be one more over here. Okay, so I have like my pile of cookies. How many cookies do you have? What kind of cookies do you have? And I'm going to do one, and it's going to start like kind of like a C. And I'm going to have like a bite taken out of it, or a little piece that my mouse is going to be holding. And you can do this light too to start, and then always go back in and add a little bit more pressure. Okay, so while I'm here with my brown, I'm going to decide and really outline my cookies now. So I'm going to say, okay, I want this one's on top of that one so I can see the whole cookie. So that whole cookie I can see, so I'm going to just trace that. This one here, I can't see part of it because this cookie's on top of this one and this cookie's on top of that one. That makes sense? And then I'm going to trace this here, and then this cookie is going to go on top. And one more. All right, cool. I'm going to add chocolate chips. I'm going to add, sometimes you can see the whole chocolate chip poking out, or sometimes you just see like a little bit of it. And I'm going to push real hard, so I can make this shape and then just push real hard. This is going to be nice and dark. You can add as many as you like. Add my chocolate chips. Maybe there's a little bump coming out of this one there. I hope everyone is having a nice day. I just came in from a walk. And all right. Hi, Pa. Hi, Kate. Hi, Erin. All right, so I have my cookies with my chocolate chips are all there. Now I'm going to start adding some colors. So I'm going to lightly, I'm going to do 2 different colors for my cookies. I'm going to do a light brown, so I'm lightly going to fill in my cookies. I was thinking it would be kind of cool if you have read that book. You know, this kind of goes along with it, but also it would be kind of cool to see what kind of story you could make about this little mouse finding these cookies on this counter. So maybe if you know, trying to think of something to do, maybe why not make like a little story, write a little story about your drawing. That'd be kind of cool. All right, so I did my first coat. Ooh, I'm going to do some little cookie crumbles here on my counter. If you did that to all your drawings, you could kind of have a whole little collection of stories and you know, in illustrated stories. It'd be really cool. All right. So my second color is going to be orange. I'm going to pick up my orange. And again, just kind of lightly letting the second color fill in those little holes. Cool. All right. So one thing that we can really add in this drawing is a little bit of shadow. So I'm going to push down a little bit harder when I'm filling in my plate right underneath my cookies, which is going to cast a shadow from my cookie onto my plate. As you can see, I did the same thing here. So from my plate is casting a shadow on my counter, so I've made it a little bit darker. The cookie's making a shadow on the counter here, and the mouse here. So let's play with a little bit of shadow. So I'm going to grab my plate's going to be that light blue, and I'm going to go in and kind of clean up my lines that I first did. So I'm going to go ahead and yours could be oval, it could be round. You could have maybe a design on your plate or a platter. That'd be cool. All right, and now I'm going to go a little bit harder right around and underneath my cookies. And I'm going to go lighter. I added another outline. I'll add that later. I have a little bit of black in my plate as well. I'll add that after. All right, I like that. So I'm going to let that be for now, and I'm going to go ahead and I am going to focus on my mouse now. I'm going to start with purple. I will outline and add some black shadowing into my my mouse as well. I have pink. You may decide to do a different color. I'm going to grab my purple, and my shape here, I'm going to do almost like a U, upside down U, right? And then I'm going to do a smile or a curve on the bottom. We've done this shape in our other drawings. This one's a little bit more elongated. So before I put my crayon down, I'm going to grab my finger, have my finger right here, and I'm going to see where I want my mouse to be. Let me just show you. I was doing another one, and I have my mouse like over to the side in this. Can you see that one? I didn't finish this one, but so he's over to the side, but in this one here, I put him like right behind my plate. So think about the placement of your where you'd like your mouse to be. If you want two friends, you know, eating a cookie, just kind of plan it out before you go ahead. So I'm going to take my purple and I'm going to do my upside down U. And then I'm going to give it a round kind of bottom. Perfect. I'm going to go ahead and add my eyes. They're going to be ovals. So I can, I don't color them in, so I'll be able to add my color. And I'm going to go ahead and add my ears. I have big ears on this little mouse here. I'm going to use my finger. Looks like a little ghost. I'm going to use, so I like to actually kind of outline the top of the head while I'm doing my ears. So I get my top of my head, and then I'm going to go ahead and add an ear. And make another ear. Alright, nice. And I am going to go ahead and make my nose. So I'm going to put down my purple crayon just for a moment. I just want to get some placement in there. So I'm just going to grab my pink and I'm just going to make a tiny little nose. I'm going to grab my red violet or red, and I'm just going to make a little line going down and a little smile. I just want to make sure, to make sure I have enough room or where I want to have my arms. I don't want to put my arms and be like, oh no, I need to have a little face. So I have that going so far, and I'm going to grab my purple again, and I'm going to make a shape of a little cookie piece. Alright, so yours could be a different shape. That's totally fine. I'm just going to make a little shape, and I'll go over that with the brown. But I just wanted to get that in. And now I'm going to add my arms. My arms are very simple. I'm just going to do kind of like 2 lines on a diagonal, and then like a little, almost like a little heart for my hand, right on the edge or on my cookie. So I'm going to find where I want my arms to go. Add my little heart for hands, and I'm going to do the same thing on this side. Awesome. Alright, I'm going to add the inside of my ears. Alright. And while I'm here, I'm going to grab my pink and I'm going to add my feet, which I'm just going to do little ovals. Whoop. Little ovals. And how about our tail? I'm going to take my time on my tail. I'm going to make sure I know where it's going to go, how long it's going to go, and then I'm going to really think about how thick or thin I'd like it to be. I once had 2 pet albino rats, and I used to clean their tails with a toothbrush. They were really cute. Alright, so let's see. I'm gonna add my little tail. So I'm gonna do 1 line there, and then I'm gonna think the thickest part is gonna be where it's connecting to my little mouse, and then it's gonna get nice and closer and thinner. Perfect. Alright, while in my pink, I'm going to fill in my tail. Cool. And I have the pink. I'm going to fill in my ears. And you can go as hard or as light as you'd like, so as light or as dark as you'd like in your ears and in the coloring of your mouse. Alright. And now I'm going to start with my purple. Like I said, I'm going to do light purple, but I'm also going to add a little bit of a very, very light shading of black to kind of show that my mouse has been eating a lot of cookies lately, so he's a little round. So I'm going to first start filling in with my purple. And if you'd like to kind of think about the direction of your mark, so if you want to kind of give it like a curve, it's also going to help with making your mouse look rounder, more round. And if you have any more ideas of what you'd like to color, I'm always looking for ideas. I know I have a few suggestions that I've had that I'm going to start making. I have a horse one that I'm going to do. and that butterfly garden. I think that was a really great idea. Anything else, just let me know in the comments. We will be doing some painting events, so that should be fun. So those are coming up, so keep an eye out for those. Filling in my ears. And also think about, I don't think we've talked about how to hold our crayon, and I know it's kind of, you're like, what? Yeah, hold it like however you hold a pen or a pencil. That's how you should hold it. I see people kind of holding it like this. I feel as though if you're holding it like a pen or a pencil, you give a little bit more control, and you can get, use the edge of it, and I think it just works better. So think about how you're holding your material as well. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and maybe start adding a little bit darker with purple on the sides. See how that's already starting to make it not look so flat? And I'm going to pick up my black, and if you wanted to, you could definitely, whoop, that's not my black. You could, if you want to do this, you sure can, or you don't have to. I'm just adding a little bit of shadow to the sides, just very, very lightly. Maybe I can add some to the top of my ears. Alright, nice. I'm going to grab my brown and I'm going to do an outline of that little piece of cookie. And I'm going to give it a nice light, fill it in lightly. Grab my orange. And I'm going to add some chocolate chips. Carrie, we are. So I'm going to have about 4 paint nights for adults and 4 paint nights for kids. I'm going to try to do a week. I do have some kits maybe I could drop off. I did have a pickup today. And I will repost that package. I do have a few more kits if you do need any supplies. I think that should be okay to just drop them off to you. But those events for kids and adults are coming up. Alright, so while I was talking, I did do a little outline. And I'm also going to, while I have my black, why don't we go ahead and I'm just going to kind of outline my mouse a little bit. Now, you don't have to do this, and you could do it with like your purple, but I'm just going to use my black. And if you need your crayons sharpened, maybe ask someone to help you out. I just used a little hand sharpener, like pencil sharpener. It worked pretty good. Sometimes they come with your crayon boxes. And I'm going to do a light outline. There. I'm going to do brown eyes for my little mouse, but you might want to do whatever color your eyes are, or whatever color you'd like your mouse's eyes to be. Let's see. I think I did blue on this one. They actually look really cute. But I'm going to do brown on mine. And I'm just going to do, he's going to be like looking at his cookie, so I'm going to do his eyes kind of looking down, and then I'm going to add the black. You can add eyelashes, you could add, it'd be kind of funny to see eyebrows. I think that'd be funny. And I'm going to add, I'm going to outline my eyes a little bit more with that purple that we originally did. There he is. Oh, he's so cute. And I am going to Nice. I'm going to add some pink cheeks. So I'm going to add with my pink, and it's going to lightly build up these pink cheeks that are full of cookies. And if you'd like to add a few little whiskers, sure can. Again, kind of be mindful of your crayon. If it's real flat, use the back end and use the edge of it. But I have a little bit of a point right here. And I'm going to add 3 little whiskers. Cool. All right. I like this one a lot. Anything else you want to add to your mouse, like a bow or a hat, feel free. I am going to now focus on my tabletop or my counter. You can do whatever color you'd like. I'm going to do my orange. And I want my mouse to be nice and, I don't want to do the countertop too close to him. I want it to be a little bit higher up on his back. So I'm going to find a nice spot, and I'm going to draw a line here. And then I'm going to go through, not drawing, but just kind of, there we go. Hovering my crayon right above my little mouse and going right across. He's really cute. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and add shadow again, just like we did to our cookies on our plate. But I'm going to do that underneath my mouse, underneath the tail, and underneath the plate, and of course my cookie crumbs. Okay, so we're going to push a little bit harder, and I'm keeping that mark flat because that counter is flat, right? Alright, so I'm going to push a little bit harder. Hi Holly, I hope you have your crayons out. And let's see, who else is there? Hi Dave. And I'm going to, I hope everyone's having a nice day. And I'm going to add a little shadow, so I'm just pushing down a little bit harder. Right under my plate, and I'm only going on the front of my plate because I wouldn't be able to see the shadow on this side. So I'm just gonna add that. Shadow. And now I'm gonna go in and add my whole countertop, and that's just gonna be kind of a light hand. You can go back and go a little bit heavier where you need to if you want to add more to your shadow. And remember, whatever like texture you're working on when you're shading, you're gonna kind of see it. So that's kind of fun to do if you have anything. You could always kind of make some textures that way, which is neat. Maybe we can do that one day. Also with, I said for the crayon projects, looking for inspiration for that, but also for our painting. If you want to learn some blending or some other techniques, I can do that with you all. That'd be fun. So I add my shadow. So in my background on my wall, this is the backsplash, and I added, let me see if I can tilt this a little bit higher for you. And I have, oops, sorry for my hand. Ooh, hello. Hold on. One moment. There we go. Sorry. Let me put that back. I was saying I have my little light plug right here. I just kind of liked it. I think it's cute. You don't have to add it. Maybe you have something else in your picture, but I just liked it. So I'm going to add that, and my mouse is a little bit higher in my picture, so I might only see like one outlet now in this picture here. So I'm going to just have the bottom one because I went a little high, and I'm going to use my yellow crayon to create my shape, and I'm going to do it on the side. So it's kind of fun, you know, that my mouse was high, so I had to kind of say, ooh, how do I solve this? What, you know, I can't do exactly that, so what can I do? So it's kind of cool how your picture can evolve while you're going. It's kind of like problem solving, and I think it's kind of fun. So I'm having like the corner of my my little plug here, so I'm going to add my shape. So this shape here is just like our mouse, a curve and then a flat, same, very similar. And I'm going to add just a little circle here. That's going to be my screw. All right, I'm going to fill in this here, and I'm just using my yellow. I'm going to fill that in. Think about anything else do you want to add to your picture before we do our backsplash. If you would like to add like a cup of milk, you could add a cup of milk. I would do that now because I want to make sure I have my glass and my milk before I add my color. What else could you add? Could you add a little mouse poking his head in looking at the cookies? So anything you want to add, start thinking about that. I'm just going to fill this in. And now I'm just going to add I'm going to add an outline. And then I'm going to add where you plug it in. And I'm going to make a circle for my little screw. And I'm going to do like an X. It's like almost like a little face looking at my mouse. Kind of cute. And I'm going to outline this. Alright, and I'm going to do my backsplash. So my backsplash, I'm doing long rectangles, and they are with the dark green. Of course, you can do whatever you'd like. You could maybe do a wallpaper, you could do just a solid background, whatever you'd like. I am going to start, let's see, I'm going to kind of picture it, and I'm going to start my first one right about here. Alright. So I'm going to go down and over, and I'm going to go nice and close, go down and over. It's kind of like bricks. I'm going to start one here, leaving a little bit of space for the grout in between. And now I'm going to kind of think about like how thick was the whole one of this. So I'm just going to make get an idea. And then I'm going to move it down. And I'm going to just keep going, adding my shapes. What kind of tile do you have? Are you adding just a plain wallpaper, stripes? Maybe your mouse, you know, maybe you don't have a plug, maybe it's on like a picnic table outside, and you see the sky, and alright, cool. So now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to start shading in my tiles. I'm going to just really focus on one at a time. Think about the direction. I got one. Two. If you want to get kind of fancy, maybe towards the edges, it gets a little bit darker to show that they're kind of rounded on the edge. Do you want to add like a second layer of a different color? Maybe of like the light blue? That might be kind of cool. Alright, almost got it all done. You can think about, do you want to add a different color for your grout, or if you're just going to leave it white? I think I'm going to leave mine white, but maybe you could add a different color. And the grout is like what holds the tile in. It's in between. Add a little bit darker on those edges. Nice. Oh, I don't want to be done. I haven't had fun. Let's see. Anything else we can add? Maybe add your name. Add your cup of milk if you wanted. And actually, that would be really cool to hear if you come up with any stories to go along with this mouse. But I hope you had fun. Please post a picture of you in your picture in the comments below. I'm going to do one more thing. I'm just going to add a darker line right here. But thank you so much for tuning in, and I'm looking forward to coloring and painting with you soon. So I think I'll do a painting tomorrow, and then we'll color the next day. So it's gonna be like every other day for coloring, and I'll sprinkle in some painting, and we're gonna have some private parties as well. So keep tuned, and I'm looking forward to seeing your masterpieces. So post them below, and if you have any stories of your mouse and its cookie, I'd love to hear them. So have a wonderful rest of your day, and I will see you all soon.